These are 5 lessons that we've learned after 5 years on keto. And if you're new here, my twin sister Sarah and I have lost 160 pounds since 2019 following a relaxed keto lifestyle. And on our channel, we like to talk about keto and try and test new recipes for all of you. I cannot believe that 5 years has gone by. It seems like it has just gone so fast. And that's what it's like once you live a lifestyle for a long time. And we decided to make this video because we have learned some things along the way. And the first lesson is losing the weight is just the beginning of this journey. You're actually going to be spending a lot more time in maintenance, and that is important to think about. In the beginning, so many people focus on the weight loss aspect of this journey, and I felt like it didn't take us very long. The majority of the weight was lost within the first year, and the other 4 years have been literally us trying to maintain it. Right. You're gonna need tools and the right mindset to keep it off in the long term. And if you're the kind of person that really enjoys now eating clean and, not adding a bunch of stuff in, then our type of content is not for you. But Sarah and I have always kind of been extreme on either end. So we would be really strict and then we would just go off the deep end for years at a time, gain everything back. And so what we're doing now is more of a relaxed approach where we eat clean a lot of the time, 4 or 5 days a week, but we like to enjoy ourselves and add new products in, and we eat things like a little bit of wheat or a little bit of sugar as long as like the carb count is in line. And we find that doing it in this sustained way has really worked with us. And now it's 4 years later after we lost most of the weight, and we are pretty much the same weight as when we lost it in the first place. I think that it's easy to kind of get into the motions of, being very afraid of products, and maybe you have dietary restrictions, but Sarah and I, we really don't have that. So, we enjoy expanding our knowledge and including products that we just really, it makes us feel like we can treat ourselves. And that's why we like to try all these products for all of you guys. And you don't have to use it every time, and you don't have to try every product that we try, but you have to figure out what is sustainable for you, because losing the weight is one part, but keeping it off and doing this forever is a completely different story. And most people don't think that far ahead. That's why we're telling you in this first lesson, you have to start thinking about how you're gonna make this sustainable for the rest of your life, because you're gonna be on maintenance more than you're gonna be in weight loss mode. And I know you can be like super strict and you can be calculating your macros, but you might get tired of that. So we are relaxed and it works for us, but just know that losing the weight is like not even a quarter of the battle. And one of the products that we have been using since 2019 is Element, who is a sponsor of this video. You want to try? Element is a delicious electrolyte drink mix with everything that you need and nothing that you don't. That means lots of salt and no sugar. Element contains an electrolyte ratio of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Sarah and I drink Element every single day, whether it's in water or in our coffee, because this goes great with coffee. This is the chocolate medley pack, because it tastes great and it helps us on our keto lifestyle. That's because when you go into ketosis, you shed a lot of water, and inside that water are your electrolytes. This can leave you feeling tired, having muscle cramps, or nausea, also known as the keto flu. Element replenishes your electrolytes so that you feel better. Some of our favorite flavors of Element are the citrus salt, orange salt, and raspberry salt, but during the winter, we absolutely love the chocolate medley. In this pack, you'll find chocolate chai, chocolate mint, and chocolate raspberry, and it goes amazing with coffee and a little bit of heavy whipping cream. Right now, Element is offering our community a free sample pack, so you can try all the flavors. That's 8 single serving packets free with any order from Element. This way you can try the chocolate medley and get a free sample pack. In order to get this deal, you must go to drinklmnt.com/ketotwins. The next lesson that we learned after being 5 years on keto is that eventually, unfortunately, you're going to reach a plateau. So in the beginning of our keto weight loss journey, weight seems to come off very consistently in the beginning. Eventually, you reach a stalemate, is that what it's called? Or a plateau, where the scale will not go down no matter what you do. It even goes up sometimes. Right. And that can be a really defeating moment for a lot of people. And I've experienced it so many times on keto, can't even remember how many times I've experienced it. But it's
it's natural.
Right.
Your body is, getting used to what you're ingesting. You're not eating that standard American diet. And so you're going to have to change up your game plan to get through this plateau.
There's a good chance that you're consuming as much as you did before your body decided to plateau, in which case you could add intermittent fasting, alternate day fasting, some kind of fast, whether that's like an egg fast or going carnivore for a little bit to see if that kind of moves the scale. You have to change it up and then you'll start losing again and then you'll plateau again. And that's typically how it goes. So plateaus are normal and you are literally changing like how your body works and how much energy that you need and how many calories you're burning. But there will be a point where you're probably just not gonna see the scale moving. And if you really care about that, like getting smaller and smaller, because at some point you might not care anymore. I know that I reached that point in now where it's just like, okay, I guess I'm here and that's fine. You just need to continue changing it up and you should see the scale moving again. A couple days is not a plateau, a couple weeks is not a plateau. I would really try to be patient. And this is not a race to the bottom. You should be cognizant of that. So plateaus are normal. They're gonna happen.
Emily likes to say like she can't eat like how she was eating when she was 262 pounds. She has to eat like someone that's 160 pounds.
Right.
You're gonna need a lot less calories, and that makes a lot of sense to me. I understood it really well, like why you plateau when you think about it that way. So that leads us into our third point that we've learned after doing this for so long, is that as you shrink, you need less calories and carbs to sustain your size.
Right. Sarah and I have really not eaten that much and still stayed the same weight because we weigh so much less now than we did before. You need a lot less food when you weigh 50 pounds less than you did 50 pounds ago. And so keep that in mind because you might have gotten away with eating a lot more 50 pounds ago than you're going to be able to get away with now. That's one of the lessons that I learned because I used to be able to eat a lot more products and a lot more food. And now I don't even think I eat all that much and I'm still maintaining what I am now. So
because we're pretty inactive. That's another way though. Maybe you need to act in some like activity, some exercise.
Don't follow us up for that.
Yeah, we're gonna try that in the new year to actually add that in, but you need to like increase or decrease the calories.
Increase your expenditure in order to afford those things.
Yeah. I think I noticed that when I used to watch that show, My 600 Pound Life, Dr. Nazardin would just say like, it's impossible for you not to be eating a lot because you're sustaining your weight.
So he could tell right away if you were lying.
Yeah.
Because
he's like, it's mathematically impossible for you not to be eating this much. So there is some math and science involved in all of this. You need less as you get smaller.
So our next lesson is that you have to be careful to follow your own voice in this journey. And I know that sounds really like woo-woo, but there's so many people telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing and what you should and shouldn't be eating and telling you all of these negative things about food and how you should be counting macros and how you should be testing your blood and how you should be not eating wheat and not eating soy and not eating
seed
sugar
and all those things.
It's like you have to learn what works for you. In this world, you get more when you're negative. I'm sorry to say, you get more
tactic.
Views when you're negative, when you scare people into certain things. Sarah and I really don't subscribe to that level of thinking, and we don't really believe like the scare tactics around food, and we don't promote them. Carbs overall, all I know is when I eat those, I don't feel my best. That's all I can go about. All the rest of it, you have to learn how to listen to your own voice and stop saying, oh, well, they don't use avocado oil now, therefore I'm not gonna use avocado oil. Avocado oil is bad for me now because so-and-so said that it's bad for you. It's like,
it's not clickbait, but it's a way to get views. And it's not the way that we chose to make our channel. We don't want to instill fear. We want it to be technically, because we want it to be open and flexible and positive towards all different types of people that are doing keto. So just please take everything that you hear, even from us, with a grain of salt. We're just talking about our experience.
What works for us.
Right, that we've been living with this way for a very long time, and we're sharing our experience and our recipes. But also, we're just people on YouTube, and please use that logic when you watch other people.
You know, we get people all the time in the comments saying, this is bad, that's terrible. And it's like, then go follow somebody else. We are relaxed. I'm not thinking about that all that much. Life is too short. And so I feel 100 times better. My health is 100 times better. All I'm doing is listening to like what feels right to us, and being relaxed feels right to us. It's part of the difficulty in trying to make content in this niche, because so many people think that their right. And I can't tell you who's right or wrong. All I know is that I'm happy living this way. And that's the first time that's ever happened for us. So listen to your own voice and make your own opinions. That's all I'll say. The last lesson that we've learned about keto and weight loss is that in the beginning, it's easier to lose weight than the middle and the end, and it gets progressively harder. But not only that, pounds count way more when you're smaller than they do when you're bigger. And people don't really think about this because they think, I need to lose 100 pounds. That's my goal is 100 pounds. And then they lose 50 pounds in 6 months, but then it takes them another year to lose the rest, and they think that they're failing, but you're not, because every pound after a certain point counts for more. And sometimes you lose weight and you can literally see the difference in the mirror as you're doing it. So the second half of your journey is going to take longer, but
each pound
counts more when you lose weight. Yeah. Right. and that's really important. Being that I'm 5'11", you know, when I was 262 pounds, I could lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds and barely tell. But
same
now,
clothes and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, being 170 something pounds, if I lose a couple pounds, I can definitely see it. So
yeah, the closer that you get to the finish line, each pound counts for so much more. So you shouldn't equate the two.
Celebrate each pound more than in the beginning. And it's hard to see that perspective when you're just starting because you think you're never gonna get there. And so what's the point? But I'm telling you, if you stay on this lifestyle, you are going to get there. And then 5 years later,
you don't know where you're gonna be.
Right.
So it's January right now, and this is the perfect time to say, like, where will I be if I just stick with it until January of next year? I promise you you're gonna feel so much better and you're going to look so much different, and it's definitely worth it. Doesn't feel that way about June or so,
yeah.
You know, but just keep on that path and, you know, you're gonna look back and be like, wow, I'm glad I stuck through it.
Time really does speed up the more you get in the routine of something. And all of a sudden it's 5 years later and you're like, I cannot believe that I have been keto for that long. And it's just like, it's life.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you guys have any other things that you've learned, if you've been on keto for, I don't know, a year or 5 years or whatever, anything that you've learned, leave a comment below, share it with other people. It's gonna help out others in the community that are just starting and need that motivation to keep going. And if you guys wanna see another video, you can click on the video on the screen and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Emily.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out. Eventually you're gonna reach
that?
It's the his kegerator.
Oh, okay.